Today's the day. We're gonna win. We're gonna fight.
Notre Dame stops it. The Irish win the game.
We play together, we play for each other, and we play to win.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
We can't remember to lose sight of today. We have to remember where we are after today's loss. I mean, it's a red letter day for our football players, coaches alike. 2 years ago, we were playing for a national championship. Today, we got our butts beat, and it wasn't as close as the score.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly speaking to the media following USC's dominant 49-14 victory over Notre Dame Saturday afternoon in Los Angeles. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. Coach Kelly was straightforward and blunt about his team's performance against USC, but he also did not lose sight of the big picture. The injury-depleted, shorthanded, and young 2014 Irish team is struggling right now. But Kelly does not believe his team's current hard times reach to the foundation of the football program he is building at Notre Dame.
This is not a program, situation. This is a personnel. We're talking about personnel. We're talking about, we got a lot of young players, and I'm very confident as to where they want to go. And they want to get better, and we expect to be back in the spot we were a couple years ago. But we're going through a tough spot right now.
This is Pete. Pete is helping his aunt move, so he's not thinking about tires right now. But if he were, all he'd need to know is TireRack.com. They post their own test results and user reviews, so he could get the right tires for his car in as little as one business day. But Pete's not thinking about tires. Pete's thinking it would have been nice if his aunt had mentioned the minor bird. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Now remember, Mr. Scrooge, we can see them, but they can't see us.
Look how happy they are.
With Xfinity, you get the fastest, most reliable in-home Wi-Fi in all rooms, on all devices, all the time.
Connect us, everyone. Hey, Mr. Scrooge.
That's weird.
Bring power to your presence with Xfinity. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for a year. Call 1-855-215-FAST or visit Comcast.com today.
Sweat. It says I was here. I worked here. It says I only have so much to give before I have to take. What I lose, I want to get back. Sweat says, I earned this. Gatorade, created to help replace what you sweat out.
Coach Kelly remained in California after the USC game to begin his annual post-regular season West Coast recruiting trip. But before he left the Los Angeles Coliseum on Saturday, Coach sat down with our Ryan Camden. Ryan begins this week's interview by asking Coach Kelly for his evaluation of the way the Irish played on offense against the Trojans.
Well, as you know, we changed quarterbacks, so I was concerned about it, and to the point where we made a change at the quarterback position, and I thought it gave us some life. We got a bounce there with Malik, and I would have liked to see our receivers help him a little bit. We had some drops, but he did some good things, but he did some things that an inexperienced quarterback would certainly do as well. It's probably the first time this year where we didn't get off to the start that we normally do. We missed some early reads that kind of were disappointing, and that's why we made the change that we did.
Concerns about the way the defense played?
They're the same concerns that I've had for the last 6 weeks. Joe Schmidt not being in the lineup, Sheldon Day, Jerron Jones, Cody Riggs, a number of guys not being there it's very difficult. You can say whatever you want. I'm not an excuse maker, but we're a bit undermanned out there today, and our kids played as hard as they could.
Overall, how do you evaluate the way Malik played today?
I thought for a first-time starter, he showed pocket presence, which is very important for a first-time starter. When the game did not look too fast for him, that's a very good sign for a quarterback.
It is hard for fans of one team to give credit to an outstanding performance by a member of the opposition, but Coach Kelly had no problems praising the play of USC quarterback Cody Kessler.
Yeah, I mean, he finishes with 6 touchdown passes, I think first time ever against Notre Dame, so we don't like to be on that end of the record book, but, you know, we knew he was an efficient quarterback. He had some one-on-one matchups, and he was able to hit those one-on-one matchups today, and he did a very good job.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas, all with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Got him in group as a go.
Yes! Not just a startup, an upstart.
Gotta get going. Gotta be good.
Good?
Good.
Growth is the goal. How do we do that?
I talked to UPS. They'll help us out. New technology, smart advice. We focus on the business, and they take care of the logistics.
UPS.
Good going.
We get good. That's great.
Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
I love logistics.
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
There were some big plays made by the Irish against USC, beginning with Jalen Smith's sack of Cody Kessler on USC's first possession that forced the Trojans to punt the football.
That to me was fairly significant because we had an opportunity offensively to go up 7-0 and we missed a key read. We had Will Fuller wide open down the field and we missed him. I thought getting up 7-0 early on against USC would have sent a significant message. And I told our team in the locker room, let's send an early message, and we missed a very, very big opportunity.
Like you mentioned, Malik comes into the game. He leads a 3-play scoring drive that includes the first pass of his career, a pass to Chris Brown that picks up 49 yards.
Yeah, you know, we had bump coverage on the outside. It was one-on-one, and I thought Chris did a great job going up for the ball. Malik threw a nice back shoulder ball. We had talked about all week that we would get that opportunity. I thought Chris did a nice job after the catch, and again, it was a nice read by Malik and getting us a little bit momentum before the half.
What pleased you about Malik's 11-yard touchdown run?
Great read. I mean, we've been trying to run zone read all year. We just haven't been as effective as I would have liked. It changes the complexion of the game. When you can run zone read option, it opens up everything else. Our running game started to open up. Your passing game is a lot easier. It just opens up so many other things, and he's really good at it.
Zaire led another scoring drive in the third quarter that included 3 completed passes and a 27-yard run by Greg Bryant to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and I would say that his running, Malik's, opens up a lot of other things. And it was good to see Greg get out there and run the football. He earned it this week. It was his best week of practice since he's been at Notre Dame. What I like about Greg is that he really was the third running back, and he's earned his opportunity to get the carries that he's gotten, and so it's a really good story for us.
It has been a season of adversity. What good do you think will come from this with the young team this season?
Well, it's been a season of really interesting highs and lows, and you know, obviously we're in a part of the season where, you know, we've lost 4 games in a row, and certainly we'll have another opportunity to change that. What it has to be is a learning season for us.
There is your final score. USC picking up its first win in the series since 2011 and its first at the Coliseum since 2008. The final stats reflect the same USC dominance of the game as the final score, including the facts that USC ran 93 plays to Notre Dame's 64 and had possession of the ball for a full quarter more than the Irish. When we come back, we'll take a look at this week's ATI Physical Therapy Strong and True Moment of the Week and visit with 3 young men who walked onto the Notre Dame football team and ended up earning the ultimate reward for all of their hard work. This week's ATI Physical Therapy Strong and True Moment of the Week focuses on Notre Dame's first scoring drive of the USC game, a 3-play drive that included the first pass of Malik Zaïre's Irish career and his first touchdown. The process of walking on to the Notre Dame football team was immortalized by the movie Rudy. But nowadays, a Notre Dame walk-on needs more than just a dream of playing for Notre Dame. They need to have the skills to compete with the scholarship players in practice and possibly even in games. This week, we visit with 3 young men who achieved their dreams of being invited to become a walk-on member of the Irish and have ended up playing important roles on the squad.
Come Notre Dame's always just been a lifelong dream. Been working since as long as I can remember with one goal in mind, and that was to get to the University of Notre Dame. My dad played here in the 80s under Jerry Faust. He played center here and really was my inspiration basically my whole life to pursue this opportunity here in Notre Dame. One of the coolest memories that I have is getting the acceptance letter from school. Parents called me, said that they had something to talk to me about, so I thought I was in trouble. Come back, walk into the backyard, and it's my whole family standing out there. My parents are crying. I started crying. It was like, I got into the University of Notre Dame. There's no shot I'm going anywhere else. I wasn't talked to from the Notre Dame football office at all prior to coming in to school here. I actually almost had to beg them to get onto the team. Had a couple morning workouts in front of the strength staff and in front of the offensive coaches. And from there, they kind of just made their decisions off of different calisthenic workouts, route running, running form, and just overall athletic ability. And from there, they made cuts and invited people back for some more tryouts. And then from there, invited onto the team.
I kind of joke around with people when I tell them that when I was a senior in high school, I applied to 9 schools, and Notre Dame was number 10 on my list. I wasn't like a diehard Notre Dame fan growing up. I actually came from a house that, typically speaking, the favorite team in the Fissinger family on Saturdays was whoever was playing Notre Dame. And I didn't get into some other schools that I had applied to. Almost kind of fell into Notre Dame. Football was a big reason that I ended up coming here, just because I wanted to go to a school that loved football. I had really no intentions of walking on, but within probably the first 2 or 3 weeks that I was here, I started to kind of get the itch. Andrew Hendricks was a great friend of mine. I've known Andrew for 8 or 9 years, and I kind of reached out to him, and I was like, is there a chance? Like maybe, I've been thinking about it. I might try to give this a shot. I had a meeting with Tim McDonald, who was our director of player personnel at the time. I had a meeting with him Monday night. I got fitted for pads Tuesday night and practiced Wednesday morning.
As a senior in high school, I always knew I wanted to play football. And, senior rolls around, I was getting looks at the Ivy League and a couple, Division II, small Division I schools, taking visits. Week 4 into my senior football season, I got an opportunity to come here for kind of like an unofficial visit, talk to Coach Dave Peliquin, and he gave me an opportunity saying, we'd like you to come here and walk on. Instantly, I kind of knew that this is the place I wanted to be, and if football could give me an opportunity here, even as the capacity of a walk-on, I knew that was an opportunity you can't pass up.
Here come the Irish.
I clearly remember I was talking to my mom on Wednesday or Thursday before that game, and I said, I think this is going to be the best weekend I've had in college. And it was one of those weekends where just the stars aligned, so to speak. I got to get in at the end of the game.
Charlie Feisinger got a snap at quarterback. It's something that he'll always remember, no doubt.
And that was the same night, too, that Kansas State lost and Oregon lost. So all of a sudden, we had just beat Wake Forest at home. I'd just gotten in, and next thing you know, we were the #1 team in the country. It was a special weekend, to say the least.
One of the coolest memories that I have is actually when we went to Ireland. I was second string on the depth for the kickoff unit, and Coach Booker gave me a call out, "Hey, Plants, you're in." Again, heart kind of sunk right there. Ran out there, all excited, sprinted down, don't remember the play, get up, made the tackle. Look back, it's actually a yellow flag on the ground because I was offsides on the kickoff. But everybody was still going nuts for me, patting me on the back.
BCS National Championship game, looking back on that play, I don't remember a ton of it because I was just beside myself, a national championship stage. I remember they had that sky camera behind me, and I remember it was moving around and I could see it, and I was like, oh gosh, hopefully I don't trip with this camera following me down. But I just ran down there as fast as I could and tried to make a play for the team and ended up making the first tackle of the game.
Some great moments for 3 hard-working walk-ons, but possibly their best moment in a Notre Dame uniform is still to come. We'll show you when Inside Notre Dame Football returns.
The evolution of luxury continues. The next generation 2015 Escalade.
Oh my gosh.
During training camp back in August, Coach Kelly made a few special announcements following a practice session in Notre Dame Stadium.
This year, we're very fortunate that we have a scholarship. Matter of fact, we've got 3 scholarships available this year.
Oh, I probably started sweating. I was, so excited, and he said there's 3 guys.
First one, Charlie, get up here.
Charlie was the first to announce, and I was hoping because you hope that coaches are going to recognize you for all your hard work.
Connor Carvalhares. Tyler Plant.
Not only is it that Coach announced the name, but the coolest thing for me was just the guys. Everybody kind of gave him a roar, everybody's giving me a hug, everybody's patting me on the back, and it's like, I came in from that guy my freshman year. It was kind of a walk-on, everyone's kind of staring at, who's this guy walking around here, this 5'8" kid from Chicago. And then it was like, hey TP, congratulations, you deserve it.
Being awarded a scholarship was one of the greatest moments of my life. It's certainly one of the biggest achievements I've had. But it's not necessarily like a validation. All the work that all of the walk-ons put in on a daily basis, helping the team get better, that doesn't, it's not like all of a sudden my job's different because I got a scholarship. It's certainly an honor. I'm incredibly thankful to Coach Kelly, to the entire organization. At the same time, it's, still got a job to do, and, you got to go out and do it.
Based on the successes of numerous past Notre Dame football walk-ons, Charlie, Connor, and Tyler are in position to accomplish some pretty neat things when their days at Notre Dame come to an end. Earlier this season, offensive lineman Nick Martin became part of only the second brother combination to serve as captains of the Notre Dame football team. And in this year of Irish injury depletion, he is also the only one of the 4 Irish captains this season to start every game. So we thought it was time for Nick to take his turn running the Inside Notre Dame Football 60-second drill. Favorite all-time movie?
The Program.
First car you ever drove?
Grand Jeep Cherokee.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Tim McGraw.
Favorite TV show?
Sopranos.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Oreo.
Favorite snack food?
Peanut butter.
Favorite sport to watch?
Football.
Favorite sports team other than Notre Dame?
Cowboys.
Favorite breakfast meal?
Omelet.
If you were a professor, what class would you teach?
Football.
Zach Martin.
Heinous.
Word you hear most often from Coach Heastan in practice?
Backside leg.
Best nickname on the team and who has it?
John Montellis, Guap.
Best player to room with on the road?
Christian Lombard.
Toughest player to block on the team?
Sheldon Day.
Best singer on the team?
Ever Golson.
Best dancer on the team?
Chase.
Best comedian on the team?
Devin Butler.
If there is one, best comedian on the coaching staff?
Dim Brock.
Best dresser on the team?
Austin Collinsworth.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Running out of the tunnel.
Nick Martin, you've completed the 60-second drill on Inside Notre Dame Football. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Cool, huh?
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, let's go inside.
When you get all your lighting and Christmas decorations at low Meyer prices, you can spread the spirit of the season a little further. And the further you spread the spirit, the better the holidays get.
A financial institution is behind many of the milestones in your life. Pick one that sees you as more than just an account number. Own your dreams. Join a credit union today.
It's time now for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question, presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Terry McCauley of Marion, Iowa. Terry asks, why does Notre Dame now come out of the tunnel first before home games? There was a time when we always came out last.
Well, Terry has outlived my time here, so Terry probably, I'll have to ask Terry that question. Terry, I'm not sure why we do that, but I'll research that and I'll get back to you next week.
Terry, I don't know the answer either, but as Coach promised, we will get it for you on our Bowl Show. Now let's hear Coach Kelly's choice for this week's Tire Rack Drive of the Game.
It's got to be Malik's first touchdown drive of his career at Notre Dame. Did a great job of throwing the football. And then a great read in the read option. And he's a big fella now, 220 pounds. The only difference is when he came to the sideline, he couldn't talk because he wasn't breathing. So we're going to have to get him on the elliptical and get him in shape because he was a little winded.
We wrap up this week by getting Coach Kelly's rundown of what the schedule will look like for the Irish heading into the bowl game over the holidays.
Yeah, obviously the decision on the bowl game is on December 7th, but we expect to probably play later in December, so we'll give them a few days off, let them catch up on the studies. They need to think about when they come back how they're going to approach the next 3 weeks because it's a very important bowl game for us.
And that will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. We will wrap up our season with our annual bowl preview show, which will hit the air the week of Christmas. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.